Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly oracle reading for the week beginning 15th of September onwards. Let's tune into the cards right away, alright? Okay, the first card we have is Rainbow and it says Blessings. Alright, we've been waiting for this quite some time now. Here it is. It's time for you to feel good about yourself. Now, this is definitely the outcome of whatever we were promised since the beginning of 2014. Now, when I say that, I don't sense this as a card necessarily of some physical, tangible manifestation of success, or, in terms of your business alliances, relationships, etc., etc. You're being blessed with a new mental landscape. So it's kind of you're breaking out of the mold and coming out with this new avatar, so to speak. I think since a week or two you have had a faint realization of something changing at a fundamental level of your way of perceiving things. Some of us are even breaking childhood issues. It's being rectified. This is a week wherein you will directly feel your own inner guidance steering you towards the right path. We are in what astrologers call the Grand Fire Trine, and that's going to go on till about, I think, mid of next month. And this window of 30 days, I'd suggest you utilize it as dynamically as possible. And fire trines are all about being inspired, being motivated to see things through. If there has been any creative project that you are working on or you have worked on some time back and you want to get back to it, I think this is definitely a week for creative breakthroughs. This is not about you jumping around like a wild teenager. This is about you really feeling again from the depth of your being, really showing the world can actually directly experience the manifestations of all that has changed. You will definitely come across those people you've had issues with, and you will see yourself feeling quite differently despite them doing the same things to you. And trust me, when you think about it, you'll have a smile on your face. Guidance on one side and intuition on the other. And they're standing together and blessing us to take steps forward. And it feels good, because why are they here at first place? It's because we decided to move forward. This is the lesson for you guys, that the day, despite the odds, you will choose to move forward in utmost faith. There's always going to be some day where you will actually feel and sense the support, and universe will actually reflect that back to you. For those of us who tend to escape responsibility, if you think you cannot get yourself to sit down to do a task, it's because you don't have enough willpower. If you need to have enough willpower, you need to exercise action, because action really reestablishes willpower. You can choose to get really lost in your mind, but you won't be really existing in the world, so to speak. So the idea is to have a balanced existence. If you call out for help, the answers will be delivered to you. But you got to ask those questions, and you have to have the patience enough to listen to what's been told to you, okay? I would strongly suggest, please take whatever little time you can to give back. Show the world that you care for all the support it's lent to you so far. If you're one of those people who find it difficult to pray, I think donate something. Universe doesn't care what you give. It only truly responds to what frequency you emit from within. Own it up, okay? Okay, the next card we have is Meadow, and it says Vulnerability. Alright. Okay, so I think this week this card is expressing in its positive aspect, because I think by now you know thyself. And, that's the famous axiom of almost all religions across the world. One of the important things that they teach whoever who seeks knowledge through spirituality, the first step for you to know is to know yourself. Know your ups and downs. Know what your limits are. Experience, explore. From your teens to your early 20s, you do a lot of exploration and you come to know about what your limits are, how far you could go and how far you wouldn't. And from that is formed an opinion of self, which is actually your ego. Ego as in your sense of definition of self. Now it's getting re-solidified, taking on a much more mature approach of life, a more realistic and balanced approach of life. And all this has been possible for you. Why? Because you have taken the time, effort, and pains to get to know yourself, to get to accept yourself as who you are, and really own whatever needs to be done to rectify any aspect of you the way you desire. As you can see, you are feeling pretty much like this meadow here, sunflowers and lavenders, beautiful lush green and mountains, and you can stand on top of the hill and look at the success you've achieved. It's okay. This is one of those weeks where you look down the valley and see the distance you've covered, and you realize, oh man, I walked all that distance, but it was all well worth it. And in that realization, you are solidifying the mold of your faith again. You're finding faith in being vulnerable and not letting fear in anymore. Doesn't mean that you won't be challenged again in life, because life is always challenging you to change, to accommodate, to adapt. But you are up for it. You've decided that you will move ahead in life. You are attracting a new way, a new lifestyle in terms of how you lead your day-to-day life. I see that happening very fundamentally, and to some extent you would see that challenging your escapist mentalities. The excuses that you give yourself for not being responsible to clean up your own mess or to avoid any damages in future. Mars and Sagittarius, very much like setting out for a conquest or an adventure. I'm gonna make sure that I get this thing done. You have that willpower, so I'd suggest you take advantage of it. Yeah, they're also saying also ensure that you do some cleansing around your heart chakra and your solar plexus. Now, solar plexus energy is something that I'm sensing very, very strongly. Experiencing any digestive problems, ensure that you change your diet into something much cooler. Reduce hotter foods, at least for the next 1 month. Get into sports or dancing. It's a great time for it. Just do it for 1 month and see. Sometimes it gets hard for us to contain an energy which is in our solar plexus region, and it's actually the powerhouse. Do keep a watch on that, okay? Okay, the next card we have is Crystal's Focus. I think you're actually experiencing some time spaces where you're actually speculating on doing things on a day-to-day basis where you never had that tendency at all. In fact, most of us want to bring about some major change in the way we work, the way we see work rather. I think this focus talks about you focusing on changing the way we associate with the idea of work. There's so much of movement involved in the month in general. A lot of people could be taking up jobs and relocating. Any discomfort you feel because of that, don't entertain that, okay? Think about what this would do for you, because it's definitely something positive for you. Yeah, they're saying be a little bit more disciplined and have an attitude of patience when you work on things. Have patience with your colleagues, have patience with the way things work out for you. A lot of us have inhibitions about the kind of work we must do. Just this one thing in general that humans tend to do is that given an option of 5, 6, a couple of tasks in front of you, I think you would think of how you would feel if you were to do a task and then end up picking up the task, rather than knowing that this is what you must do and just getting to it without asking your mind a second opinion. Now, that second opinion is actually what spoils it all for us. You just do it, okay? So look at how a child does it. A child will look at something that he likes and he'll just jump right into it. But there's a difference between you and the child that were you. The child was naive. It was trying to experience the world. You cannot afford to be that naive, even if you would try and pretend to. Okay, so don't be held back by the fear that what if I jump at something that I see first, even if my instinct guided me towards that? What if it led to a disappointment? You got to accept the fact that you're not that 8 or 9-year-old child anymore. You're not that naive. You have been seasoned and denuded by your experiences in life. Nor compare it to what happened when you did something similar in the past. Because that was years ago, isn't it? So you have changed. So why not try again? Give it another go. Who knows, you might just get it damn right this time. Okay? So yeah, apart from work, there's also this aspect of your relationship with how you see money. Yeah, they're saying that there's a karmic lesson involved there. A lot of people will be healing their issues they've had with money, or at least you will be pointed towards where the solution lies. Okay? Yeah, they're saying there's something about work-money balance issues. Okay. If this is about you negotiating for a certain salary package, or ensure that that expectation is realistic, first of all, but also be open to negotiation, all right? Because they're saying that there could be something that could come along with that negotiation. Sometimes people could give you partly benefits and partly money instead of giving you money equating to the amount of the benefits. Consider all aspects equally and then come to a conclusion. And the last card we have is, man, I always wished that I had this card for a long time, and I'm getting it now. Yeah, it says celebration. It says dance, and I love this card. It looks really nice. It's in South African Aboriginal woman who's dancing to her own tunes. And I like that. Dancing to your own tune is exactly what this means. And your tune has changed, your frequency has changed, so maybe you want to celebrate that frequency that's become of you. Alright? Quite blatantly put, this would be the idea of celebrating with whoever you think is quality company. When there's, no expectation, just pure enjoyment and fun. I also see this as you having fun with yourself, meaning, trying on new clothes, pepping yourself up, pretending to be an actress and singing to yourself in the mirror and all of that things. Just like how it used to be. When you always come out of the rabbit hole and come out through the other side, and when you look back, the journey that you've taken, you wouldn't be afraid to take another journey again. Because you'll always remember that at the end of that whole journey, you came out with a celebration. You were celebrated at the end of every journey. So this is just that. It's time to celebrate life again. This is that beautiful fiery energy of the Grand Fire Trine. It has a lot to do with movement, and I think it's beneficial if you can dance to yourself and sing. Now I can easily say this because I do it on a regular basis. When I get down to playing some music and dancing to myself, if I'm not moving the whole body, the least I do is I shake my neck and I tap the rhythm. So yeah, it's one of the best ways to spend this week apart from everything else. So it seems like you have a lot more to feel happy about. In fact, it seems a lot more like you getting it, what it's like having a balanced work and personal life. September opened with a positive sensing week, but it's more externalized and it's become more outwardly only this week. You're beginning to sense that, and you're picking up nuances from every single thing that keeps reflecting back to you on how much you have changed, because people, situations are reflecting back to you, okay? So that's such good news. So have a great week. I will see you next week, same time, same channel. I love you all. Have a lot of fun. Take care. See you soon. Bye.